Buckle in, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm about to take you on a literary roller coaster. Modernism and postmodernism were the literary movements between the late 19th and 20th century. The movements consisted of a breakaway from previous romanticised values and beliefs, leading to a focus on the experience of the individual. This humanist approach, though, differed drastically within modernism and postmodernism. This is made clear to the responder significantly within the modernist play Waiting for Godot by Samuel Beckett and the postmodern film The Princess Bride, directed by Rob Reiner. Throughout these two texts, the issue of subjectivity is explored through the experience of the individual, creating a meaning beyond the surface for both the characters in the play and the responder themselves. This unique experience is directly correlated with the time of the text produced, hence a drastic change between modernism and postmodernism. First off though, what is modernism? Modernism is defined as a deliberate and often radical shift away from tradition, and consequently the new use of innovative forms of expression. This definition is appropriate as the beliefs around modernism revolve around the differentiation of traditional styles of work. Postmodernism, on the other hand, is a negotiation of the modern, a perceived abandonment, break with, or shift away from the definitive features of the modern, with the emphasis firmly on the sense of the relational move away. Waiting for Godot is a play written by Samuel Beckett, first published in 1953. Waiting for Godot is a modernist text, and this is evident for many reasons. The first is the essence of it being an assumed abstraction of human experience. This abstraction refers to the way in which Godot challenges human experience and exemplifies the changing values of the modernist period. As seen in the quote, "Let's go. We can't. Why not? We're waiting for Godot." The key concept of the play is the fact that Vladimir and Estragon are waiting for Godot, a being that is very obviously never coming. This is a very modernist portrayal of events, as the complete lack of meaning, amalgamated with the repetitive nature of the plot, ultimately defines the human experience within Godot and modernism as an unguided lack of meaning and experience of frankly nothing. The nature of seeking value in human life then links directly to absurdism. Absurdity to Camus is the border, the underside, the reverse side of the meaning, its transformed form. Absurdity is portrayed in Waiting for Godot in the lack of meaning and the direct correlation to all 7 stages of the myth of Sisyphus, an aspect of absurdity directly referenced by Camus. Also, the belief that Godot is in fact God ties directly with how the characters do not develop at all. This is accentuated in the quote, "To every man his little cross, till he dies and is forgotten." The unique experience of the individual portrayed as being stuck in time, despite the fact God is clearly not coming again, exemplifies how modernists feel they fail to neglect his presence in life. It is the combination of form, symbols, and motifs in Godot that create the subjectivity. Subjectivity in modernism is the different interpretations of how different aspects in text are portrayed to the audience. Subjectivity is explored in Waiting for Godot through Godot himself. Beckett quoted in an interview, "I don't even know who Godot is." It is the ambiguity and subjectivity in Godot that ultimately links the absurd to the experience of the individual. The quote, "Nothing happens, nobody comes, nobody goes, it's awful," exemplifies this notion. The subjectivity in modernism is also centralised around the subject itself. Within modernism, subjectivity is not revealed to the responder specifically. Instead, it is an undermining factor that influences all aspects of the text, in Godot being the waiting for a second coming of sorts, and Godot himself. The experience of individuals is conveyed significantly differently within postmodernism, and this is accentuated in The Princess Bride, directed by Rob Reiner, released in 1987. The Princess Bride is a postmodern text for many reasons, but in particular, the fragmented form and the use of pastiche to challenge meta-narratives. The structure of The Princess Bride is very staggered and very forcefully constructed. This fragmentation of style is ultimately what significantly ties it to postmodernism, as a key focal point is the experimentation of form and the nature of breaking away from definitive aspects, as seen in scenes such as the one where the film breaks away from the main story to engage on the child and his grandpa. It is scenes like this that also provoke the other key aspect of postmodernism, being the simulation of reality becoming more real than reality itself. Within The Princess Bride, pastiche is a vital part of the film. by following an old-fashioned tale of an attractive woman soon to be marrying a prince, only to be saved by her past lover who she thought was dead. But adopting a cynical approach, making a mockery of the hero's journey, the film challenges the traditional fairy tale and gives it a meaning beyond the surface. This adaptation contrasts directly with Godot and the absurd, as the myth of Sisyphus revolves around the acceptance of no meaning, whereas the postmodern world takes on the hero's journey in an effort to hunt for it. Anyway, it is the challenging of meta-narratives which is depicted throughout the experience of the individual which allows for subjectivity to be explored in The Princess Bride. The constant mockery of the conventions of the adventure and fantasy genre, creating a blur of real and fantastical elements, as seen in the gigantic rodents in the Fireswamp, exemplifies how the differing aspects of the key genres allow for the film to challenge the beliefs of individuals. The director not only challenges the tropes of the genre, but challenges everything we as people know, and it is this that ultimately leads to the rising of subjectivity in the text. By pointing out the flaws in mass culture and using a basic fairy tale as a metaphor for human thought, The Princess Bride challenges the respondent to formulate their own beliefs on meaning of everything within the text. The scene where Inigo gets stabbed 3 times before fighting back emphasises this aspect. The rationality of Inigo's decision toys with our mind. If he knew he could kill the man, why did he let him stab him? It is questions like this that ultimately draw on the subjectivity in The Princess Bride, and emphasises how in a postmodern world, the experience of the individual is a spoofing challenge of what mass culture expects. In conclusion, the experience of the individual within modernism and postmodernism differs significantly, as modernism presents a lack of meaning in life, as seen in Waiting for Godot, and postmodernism presents a hunt for meaning which challenges preconceived ideas of genre and life itself, evident in The Princess Bride. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my literary rollercoaster.